Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. I'm mostly Darklink, and today what I have for you guys is a sea pickle farm. Now, as usual, we'll go over how the farm works, what materials you need, and then how to make it. Quick reminder, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me grow my channel and allows me to keep making more videos like this for you guys. Okay, so Sea Pickle Farm. Sea pickle farms are a bit unique in that, well, they have to be underwater, as you can see here. So sea pickles, the way that they work is if you bone meal them, they'll spread out in a 2-block direction, either at their current Y level or 1 Y level lower. So that is what we got going on here, that we got this dispenser bone mealing the sea pickles, and then it will spread out in a 2-block direction in the cardinal directions, as well as 1 block diagonal. And if we turn this on, you'll see that these pistons are pushing this platform back and forth, and we have a whole bunch of sea pickles in here. The one downside to this design is that you do have to come in manually pick up all the pickles, but that is because, as you can see, we had this on for just a few seconds. We have 2 stacks and 6 pickles. So for very little time, you get a ton of sea pickles, but you had to collect them yourself. That's pretty much it. Nothing too special. I will note that if you want one that'll automatically pick up the sea pickles, you're going to need something similar to XP Crafted's farm here, where if we turn it on, what's happening is it's doing the same thing, bone mealing these sea pickles, and then we got a hopper minecart here that's picking them all up and then bringing them into our chest here. But as you can see, it is a lot slower, and it's using a lot more bone meal than this farm here. So if you want a way more efficient farm, this is the one to go. If you want to be lazy and not have to pick up your sea pickles, you'll need something like this. And I'll have XP Crafted's tutorial in the description down below. Quick note, this farm is based on a farm by Trillium. I'll have Trillium's in the description down below as well if you want to check his out. All right, now the materials you're going to need. You're going to need 19 pieces of coral. I have it separated out like this, because this is going to be the coral that our sea pickle is going to be sitting on top of, and then these 18 are what's going to be making up our platform that we have moving around. Then we'll need 1 dispenser, 3 slabs, 25 full blocks, 10 pistons, 30 redstone dust, 1 lever, 1 comparator. We'll need 2 buckets of water to make an infinite water source, and of course we'll need our sea pickle. All right, so now we're going to come back to the front of our farm here, and we're going to go in 3, so 2 blocks away here, 1 block away from this side, and we're going to dig it out 1 and put another water block, a water source in, like so. And this is because above here is going to be the block that our sea pickle is on, and when the coral gets shoved underneath it, we don't want it to die. So this here is going to keep the coral hydrated as it gets shifted underneath the block with the sea pickle on it, making sure that it stays alive and doesn't die. So if we look, every 3 blocks, we should have some water. So there should be 2 knot water in between every source of water. All right, next is something that I forgot in the material list. You're going to need 25 building blocks to make our cage that's going to go around. I'm using glass. I like to look into my farms. We're going to go ahead and start at the front of our farm. Place 5 down like so, then temporary block, and then another 5. Oops, 5. Then again, another temporary block, 5, and then another 5. If you want, where the temporary blocks are, you can leave a block there if you really want to, but they're not needed. So we should have something like this, where the coral is underneath the glass, this edge is right before the glass, and everything else is inside. All right, now this next step is actually easier if you do have this all filled in with temporary blocks like so. So if you want, go ahead and do that. You don't need to, but like I said, it does make this next step easier. And the next step, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting water in around. If we just put water in this corner, water in this corner, if we have the temporary blocks in, that's all we need to do. Once the sea pickles start growing and spreading, the rest of this water will end up getting turned into sources, so no need to worry there. Next, we're going to go ahead, grab our coral, and break out this entire center like so. And if you want, we can come over to where we have the water underneath like so, and place our block that the sea pickle is going to be on. The water around it is going to keep it hydrated, so no need to worry there. And if it makes it easier, it should be the center of our little 5x5 grid that we got going on with the glass. All right, next, we're going to be making a little bit of a weird pattern with our coral, and that is going to be because of the shifting back and forth with the pistons. So this corner here by the front, or where we have the glass on top of our coral already, we're going to only have this corner here as a normal block. The rest here we're going to replace with coral, and then we're going to come up to the center here, same thing. Now this edge, these 3 blocks aren't going to be coral, so the only one we're going to replace is this corner here. So we should now have something that looks like this. All right, now we should be done with our coral. You could go ahead and you could put your single sea pickle up on top. If you have multiple, you can make this 4 right away. This will just make things simpler. As it bone meals, it's going to make it go up to 4, but you only need 1 to start it. And then we're going to go ahead and place slabs off the sides here. And then a full block here. And now we can place a bucket of water on top of our sea pickles. Next, we need to be able to place our dispenser facing down into the sea pickles. So we're going to place a temporary block there. You might need to hop into the water and crouch, and then we're going to place our dispenser, and it should be facing down like so. Go ahead, break that temporary block, and then just do 1 more full block like so, so that way it's reaching the glass edge. All right, next we're going to be putting our pistons in. So the easiest way is we're going to put in a row of blocks like so 5 blocks, and then we're going to come down here, holding shift. We're going to look at the corner of this block, place it down, and we're just going to do the same all the way over. And we should have a row of pistons facing in like so. Now we're going to do the same over here. The big difference is going to be where we're standing on this side is going to be where the pistons are, so there's going to be a 2 gap in between our platform. Go ahead, put a row of 5 blocks again, and then come in, oops, and place all of our pistons in. And we should now have something that looks like this. All right, next is going to be our redstone. So go ahead, put 1 final block there, and this is going to be where our redstone line comes up like so. And then we're going to have 1 more, and we need a comparator with our lever. And then we're going to have dust coming out the side of our comparator here, and another piece of dust here. Now this line here, this is going to go over to our pistons. Just make sure it's all along the back like so. And then the final thing we need to do is we need to invert our comparator. So right click on it, and it should look like that. And then when we turn it on, it should be moving it back and forth. Now the very last step that we need to do, now we've made sure that the pistons work correctly, is we need to get a bunch of bone meal, and we need to fill our dispenser with some bone meal. And that's it. Now if you want, you can have a system that automatically refills your dispenser here with bone meal, like a hopper on top and then some way to fill it. And then once we turn it on, you see what we got, sea pickles just kind of going everywhere. And oops, if I could actually fly correctly, come up here and we can collect all of our sea pickles. And that's it. As you see, got over 2 stacks again with just a few seconds. And again, I am Mostly Darklink. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if there's something else you want to see me do a tutorial on, let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, see ya.